Hey, what's going on guys? My name is Rampage and welcome to Gaming News. This article is DDoSers claim PSN kill as game services go offline. So apparently yesterday, PSN went offline as a result of a DDoS attack. A group called Lizard Squad is claiming responsibility for the action. Alright, so if you go to Lizard Squad's actual Twitter page, they've got like 5 messages or 6 messages in regards to this. Now let's go through them, right? At 6:37 PM, we're putting a bunch of lizards in the pipes on their way to Sony. 6:48 PM, can we get any confirmations on PSN network service outages? 6:49, at PSN_updates, might want to check your pipes. At 6:54 PM, at PlayStation, sorry about the downtime, but our lizards were already on course. At 7:17 PM, PSN offline, hashtag Lizard Squad, hashtag offline. The last one was at 7:55 PM, Sony, yet another large company, but they aren't spending the waves of cash they obtain on their customers' PSN service. End agreed. Now, in a way, I do agree with what they stand for, in the sense that PlayStation Network on the PS3, that's basically what I'm referring to, because I only heard people complain about specific services on the PS4, so I'm not gonna talk about that. But if any of you guys own a PS4 and have the same issues on PS4 or have different issues on PS4, please put them in the comment section below. But my issues with the PSN on PS3 was that it took way too long to load your friends list. Whether you had 20, 30 people in there, it would just take ages, especially with trophies. Sometimes you'd have to wait at least 30 minutes for it to actually sync up with your trophies and go from there. Like, you would think that it would have the list of the trophies and then sync the new ones to the server, but no, has to resync every time you want to click on trophies. It doesn't really make any sense. So another thing that I found was kind of weird with it was when you try to access the PlayStation Store, when they upgraded it to look, all fancy and shit, it lagged so horribly. Now, that may be as a result of the, PS3's memory capabilities and stuff like that, but, it's network based. Regardless of whether you have a dickload of people on the network, it should still work. You know how many users are on the PlayStation, you know how many users are using it and are online, so why wouldn't you go above that, just so it doesn't struggle on the server? Now, I've heard a few people saying on the PS4 they have the same issues with loading friends lists, the store, several other services apparently don't really work very well, or just lag. Now, that's understandable, but going about it with a DDoS attack is not the right direction, and I don't believe Sony will actually open their eyes to see this as an issue. Simply being because, they've already fixed this, and I'll get to that article in a second, but the conflicting articles are being that apparently Sony initially scheduled a time frame within this one to have scheduled maintenance. So there was a few articles claiming that this may or may not have been a specific DDoS attack, and these guys just wanted to claim their fame here, but it turns out that that's not the case. An article by IGN, I believe there's others as well, say this: Sony president of online entertainment John Smeedley confirmed the attack via Twitter, and he states, "We are under attack by a large-scale DDoS being dealt with, but it will impact games until it's handled." Now, underneath this, they state that the network was partially restored for some users by 10 AM PT. Services like Netflix are available for streaming. However, when trying to access the PlayStation Store, you get a message saying we're currently undergoing maintenance. Sony previously announced that PlayStation Network will go down for scheduled maintenance. It was unclear at this point whether this was a specific maintenance thing or whether it was in fact a DDoS, and apparently it actually was a DDoS attack and it actually did happen. So, alright, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I think Sony should do at this point. Well, Sony obviously by now knows that this shit happens, like this. Their service is laggy, it's not really responsive, and trying to add new features to a service that is broken is not the best idea. Because the more people you have on a specific network that doesn't have the capabilities to hold a lot of people, or the amount that they want on the server, it's not going to function very well. It's going to lag, and they should have learnt this from the PS3. They should have known that this kind of shit would happen, where if you have like thousands, or I think it was 2,000 on your friends list is max, I think. But anyway, if you have 1,000 people in your friends list, you can guarantee that that's probably going to lag, right? How did they go about testing this sort of shit? But yeah, I don't really agree how Lizard Squad actually went about this, but I do understand in the sense that it does suck still. Now, I don't agree with how they did it, as I said, but services like the PS Plus, I'm not going to get into a massive spiel about it, but I don't agree with paying for multiplayer. I don't agree with Sony charging to actually play multiplayer and then going ahead and stating that there's X amount of people subscribed to PlayStation Plus, but then most of those, I can guarantee you, are only there specifically to play multiplayer. Granted, they obviously do want free games as well, but count the amount of people that do not play multiplayer, then count the amount of people that actually stinge off of that service and get free games, discounts and stuff like that. You can't, having them both the same doesn't mean that your overall PlayStation Plus network subscriptions list is longer. It means that you are trapping people in order to get that number bigger, which is, I think, a very bad decision. I don't think that's the right direction. But yeah, I won't talk about PlayStation Plus any more than that because I've made several videos about it. You guys probably know how I feel about it, and I just won't support them. If they bring out a free way to play online, apart from free-to-play games, then sure, I'll jump on board. But until then, I won't support them. That's it. Anyway, back to the DDoS. Now, they don't specifically say why, what they want out of this. They just want money spent on the PlayStation Network rather than spending money on more services or more features that potentially people don't care about anyway, or services that are in beta, don't work, or overpriced services. PlayStation Now is one of them. People don't want it. If you don't give people the things they want, then they're going to do shit like this. Now, granted that, Lizard Squad did post 6 fucking things about this. That, in my eyes, looks like a cry for attention. Now, I'm not going to get into that, but that's what it looks like to me, and they just wanted people to talk about them, i.e. me, news articles, news outlets, shit like that. They wanted exposure. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about this DDoS attack and whether you support it or not in the comment section below. My name is Rampage. Please don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.